So the last thing we're going to talk about today is gratuity, which a lot of us just call tip, right? Tax and tip. So extra money that's being given for services. Gratuity is based on the subtotal of the bill, just like tax. So, like with tax, where we only paid the tax on the amount that we were actually paying. Okay. When we find gratuity, when you're going to calculate off the subtotal, so not the taxed amount, but the pre-taxed amount. Okay, so the service at Applebee's was really great and you want to tip your server 20%. The cost of the food or the subtotal came to $48.20. How much should you leave the server? Okay, so whenever you're doing a question like this, okay, remember you want to always calculate it off of the subtotal. So this one's easy because it only gives you that, but we're going to do an example later where it's going to get a little bit trickier. Okay, so we're going to take that $48.20. We're going to multiply it by 20%, and we get $9.64. So that's the amount of money that you're leaving for your waitress or I guess your server, right? Your waiter or waitress is $9.64. Just calculate the 20%. My lunch at Chili's cost $14.99 without tax or tip. How much will the total be with an 8.5% tax rate and an 18% tip? So there's two steps here. I have to first figure out how much am I leaving in tip, and that's going to be off of my subtotal, which is $14.99. Then I'm going to figure out the tax amount off of the subtotal as well. Both the tip and the tax are calculated off of the subtotal. So if my subtotal is $14.99, so we'll first figure out the tip amount. Okay, so if my subtotal is $14.99, I'm going to take that and multiply it by 18% because that's the amount that I want to leave my server. Okay, so when I multiply that by 18%, I find out that I'm leaving $2.70 when I round that decimal because it comes out to 2.698. I'm going to round that to $2.70. That's the amount that I'm leaving for my server. Okay, now for the tax amount, I'm going to work it the same way. So to find how much tax is being added, I'm also going to calculate it off of $14.99. But instead of using 18%, I'm going to use that 8.5%. So it's going to be 0.085. Okay, so you take $14.99, multiply it times your 8.5%, and that's going to give you your sales tax amount, which is $1.27. Okay, now to figure out how much is my total amount, I'm taking that $14.99, I'm adding the tax to it, and I'm adding how much I'm leaving in tip. So then I take $14.99, I add $1.27 for tax, and I add $2.70 for tip, and it comes out to a final cost of $18.96, and that would be my final answer. Okay, so you're always calculating tax and tip off of that subtotal amount. If I had a coupon, I would go ahead and calculate the coupon. Then my tax amount would come off of that new price with the discount, but you should always tip off of the original price. Okay, now that sometimes is argued, and that depends on your personal preference. Okay, but in this case, tax and tip are going off of the subtotal. So hopefully soon we'll be able to go out to restaurants again and you can tip your servers and you can help your parents figure out that total cost.